These are the most horrifying mythical creatures people still fear to this day.
Let's begin.
In parts of Angola and Central Africa, there's an old warning people still pass down quietly. If you meet someone alone at night who feels a little too friendly, leave. They might be a Kishi. The Kishi is described as a two-faced creature. From the front, it looks completely human. Normal face, normal voice, normal expressions. Nothing that would trigger fear. That's the point. But behind the head, hidden from view, is its real face. A hyena-like face, with sharp teeth, a long snout, and eyes that don't blink the same way. Some versions say the second face whispers. Others say it stays silent, watching. The Kishi doesn't attack immediately. It approaches people at night, usually when they're alone on a road or path, and starts a conversation. It asks simple questions. Where are you going? Are you tired? Do you want company? Witnesses say its voice sounds calm, almost comforting. But as the conversation continues, people report a strange feeling, a sense that something is wrong, even though nothing looks wrong. That's when the creature is said to turn. Some stories say the human face distracts you while the second face prepares to strike. Others say the hyena face attacks on its own without warning. The symbolism matters here. Hyenas, in many African cultures, are associated with scavenging, trickery, and feeding on the vulnerable. The Kishi combines that symbolism with something far more unsettling: trust. It doesn't rely on strength. It relies on conversation. That's why the myth lasted, because it explains a fear people already have, the fear of trusting the wrong person. Some believe the Kishi represents criminals, predators hiding behind friendliness. Others insist it's something older, a warning shaped into a creature. Either way, the descriptions stayed consistent across generations. Two faces, one friendly, one waiting. So if you meet someone who is a little too friendly, make sure to check the back of their head. Now, let's move on to the next one. Deep in the forests of Colombia, Venezuela, and parts of South America, hunters and travelers tell stories about a woman you should never follow, because she isn't fully human. She's La Patasola. At first glance, she appears as a beautiful woman standing alone in the jungle, long hair, soft voice, sometimes crying, sometimes smiling, always alone, and always just far enough away to make you curious. And let's be honest, as a man like me, you'd probably try to be the hero and help her. But there's something you don't notice right away. She has only one leg. That's where her name comes from. Patasola, single foot. In some versions, the leg ends in a normal foot. In others, it ends in a hoof or claw, perfectly adapted for moving fast through rough forest terrain. La Patasola is incredibly agile. People say she can outrun horses, jump across rivers, and move through dense jungle without making a sound. The forest is her territory, and she knows every inch of it. The creature doesn't attack immediately. She lures. She calls out to men traveling alone, especially hunters, soldiers, or wanderers who've strayed too far. She pretends to be lost, injured, afraid. Once the victim gets close, the illusion breaks. Her face changes. Eyes turn wild, teeth sharpen, her mouth stretches unnaturally wide. Some stories describe her drinking blood. Others say she tears her victims apart and leaves the remains deep in the jungle, where they're never found. What makes La Patasola terrifying is how perfectly she blends predator and environment. She doesn't invade human spaces. She waits. La Patasola lasted because she isn't just a monster. She represents temptation, poor decisions, and the consequences waiting in the dark. And as long as humans keep making bad choices, she'll never truly disappear. If you love watching an actual genius with real drawing skills, and you're tired of those soulless AI slop channels flooding your feed with lazy generated images, then hit that subscribe button right now. You think getting lost in a forest is just bad direction? No. Sometimes something is walking with you. This is the Tikbalang, a creature from the Philippines. Tall, too tall, with the head of a horse and the body of a man. Imagine you're walking home through a quiet forest path. It's almost sunset. The light is fading. You feel okay at first. Then you notice something strange. You've passed this same tree before. You turn left. You walk straight. 5 minutes later, you're back at the same tree. Your phone has no signal. The air feels heavier, and suddenly, you hear footsteps behind you. But when you turn around, nothing. That's how the Tikbalang hunts. It doesn't run at you. It doesn't scream. It confuses you. It bends your sense of direction. It makes the forest feel endless. Some people say it can turn invisible. Some say it stands between trees, watching, waiting for you to panic. And the more scared you get, the more lost you become. Old stories say if you wear your shirt inside out, you can break its spell. But let's be honest, if you're alone in a forest and you hear your name whispered from behind, are you really thinking about your shirt? Or are you already trapped? And the scariest part? The Tikbalang doesn't need to touch you. It just needs you to lose your mind in the dark. Most creatures in folklore are described by how they look. This one is remembered by how it sounds. Deep in the rainforests of Indonesia, people talk about a scream that doesn't match anything in the jungle. Locals say you hear it near rivers and caves, usually just after sunset, when the forest starts to go quiet. That sound has a name. They call it the Ahool. The name itself comes from the cry witnesses describe, a deep Ahool that carries far through the trees. And once you hear it, you don't forget it. People who claim to see the Ahool describe something familiar at first. It flies like a bat, wide wings, slow, powerful movements. But then you notice the size. Witnesses estimate a wingspan of 10 to 12 feet, far larger than any known bat species in the region. And then there's the face. They describe a flat, primate-like face with dark eyes and a mouth that looks unsettling on a flying animal. Early reports came from villagers, but later accounts were recorded by explorers and researchers near Mount Salak and remote cave systems. Naturally, scientists looked for a normal explanation, a giant bat maybe, or a misidentified owl. But there's a problem. The largest bats in Indonesia, like flying foxes, don't have faces like that, and they don't produce screams powerful enough to echo like the Ahool's call. Another detail shows up again and again. People say the Ahool doesn't fly high. It stays low over rivers, skimming just above the water, almost as if it's tracking something below. That behavior doesn't match bats, and it doesn't match birds either. What keeps this legend alive isn't just old stories. Modern sightings still happen. Short encounters, a shadow crossing the moon, a sudden rush of air overhead, and then silence. No feathers, no remains, no clear proof. Just witnesses who all describe the same thing: the size, the scream, the face. In the mid-1990s, on the islands of Zanzibar, reports started coming in about a strange creature appearing at night, always after dark, always indoors, usually when someone was alone. People called it the Popobawa. The name comes from Swahili and loosely translates to batwing. That already hints at what witnesses describe: a humanoid figure, tall and thin, with large bat-like wings folded tightly against its body, not flying most of the time, standing. People say its skin looks dark and rough, almost leathery. Its arms are long, ending in claw-like hands, and its eyes, that detail never changes, reflective, almost glowing in low light. But the thing people mention first isn't how it looks, it's the smell. A strong, sulfur-like odor that fills the room seconds before the creature appears. Witnesses say the Popobawa doesn't crash in or attack immediately. It just shows up, near the bed, in a corner, sometimes blocking the doorway. According to many reports, it speaks in clear language.
Go. Tell them what you saw. Tell them I'm real. Because if you stay silent, I will come back.
Yeah, something like this. Some witnesses claimed the Popobawa could change shape, appearing as an animal or even a familiar human figure before revealing its true form. Others believed it wasn't a physical animal at all, but a spirit-like entity that feeds on fear and isolation. Scientists later tried to explain it. They said it was sleep paralysis. They said it was mass panic. And yes, those explanations can explain fear, but they can't explain everything. They can't explain why people from different villages described the same creature. The same wings, the same shadow, the same strong sulfur smell. And some people said they weren't even asleep, they were fully awake. There's also another part of the story people talk about. Some reports say the Popobawa was involved in sexual encounters. And the strange part is, it wasn't just men or just women. Both genders claim to experience it. This is one of the main reasons the legend became so disturbing. It's also why many people don't like to talk about it openly. And honestly, that's as far as we can go in this video. So, if you watch this whole video, that means you're really into mythical creatures. Let me know in the comments if you want a part 2. I didn't rank these creatures, so you tell me your rankings in the comments. See you in the next video. Bye.